me tell you about a friend. It's Craig LeBlanc where the good times never end. Talking Parks and Rec, it's a show you gotta know. Welcome one and all to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. It's the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
This is what our mission is: lifting the Park and Rec message. And what are the many messages of Parks and Recreation? So if we're trying to lift this industry up, lifting up its leaders, helping them tell and distribute their stories, I think is a great thing that it's a great opportunity that we have with the Daily Parks and Rec Show. Okay, Craig LeBlanc live today, all alone and by myself, because Jason Peters had something scheduled for today, but then he texted me that he had changed it, and I knew he had changed it to the 20th, but I don't know. It's where the right hand and the left hand don't know what each other's doing. I think we're at that point. Okay, but while I have y'all, let me put the logo up there. Okay, so there's our logo for the Daily Parks and Rec Show media company, helping get the messages of Parks and Rec out to the world. Please like and subscribe. I'm getting a lot of great feedback from the work that we're doing, a lot of encouraging words. And so how can you help? It really does a lot when you can make a comment to the video on whatever platform that you're watching us on, whether you're watching us on X, on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's where we're putting a lot of our work in as far as networking. If you are not on LinkedIn yet and you're and I hate to promote LinkedIn just because it's not like we get paid for it, but it really is a good network. So I'll give it to them that when it comes to being professional, doing business, ready to connect in a professional manner and, in a commercial manner, I guess you could say, LinkedIn is kind of built for that. And I think they do a pretty good job of allowing professionals to connect in a professional way. Let's see. Making sure my banner was still going. Yeah, so whether you're watching us live on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on X, on YouTube, any of that kind of stuff, if you can just leave a comment in the videos, thumbs up, subscribe, join the channel, it really helps get the message out. And that really is the purpose of this entire endeavor, is to get the message out as much as possible to as many Parks and Rec professionals, basically to take the Park and Rec message and lift it up. This is what our mission is: lifting the Park and Rec message. And what are the many messages of Parks and Recreation? Well, the why of our members is compelling, so compelling. You can kind of see that in the 136th, fifth, whatever episodes we're on nowadays, just in the stories, in the life decisions, in the impact that these people are making, that they have a extremely strong why. And so if we're trying to lift this industry up, lifting up its leaders, helping them tell and distribute their stories, I think is a great thing that it's a great opportunity that we have with the Daily Parks and Rec Show. And so that's essentially what we're trying to do. And so it helps a lot if, especially as we're growing the platforms out in the early days. Of course, there's these algorithms that look for engagement. And what's engagement? Thumbs up, subscription, following, and comments, and sharing, and reposting. And so if you have a piece of content that you like, or you have a channel that you want to see grow and have influence and have power amidst all of LinkedIn and all of YouTube and all of Facebook, of all the contents you could consume, then if you like Parks and Recreation, if you've dedicated your life to it, then it's important that you support through activity of the content produced. If you want to see more of it produced, if you want to see it have greater reach, then you got to engage with it. And so since I've been a content creator, and I follow a lot of really good content creators in aerospace, in technology, in AI, in Bitcoin, And all of those content creators, if I'm consuming their content, I make sure I go into the comment section and I leave a comment. Great job. Keep going. I give them a thumbs up. I subscribe. I share it. I repost it. Just because as a content creator, I know how hard it is to just create the content and get it out there. And we want to know that we're doing a great job. So it helps a lot if you can take some time to just like, thumbs up, share, comment, repost, all that kind of stuff. Does a lot for the algorithm for then the algorithm will suggest to other people that are similar to you. So if you have Parks and Rec in your title or anything, and then you watch and like and share and repost something, then it will go on to suggest that other people that also have Parks and Rec in their bio or background or something they watch, that hey, you may like this because other people that look like you also like and are engaging with this. So that's kind of how the world of social media works. And I think we are changing. Now, here's something new. We are really exiting the world of social media and we are entering the world of interest media. Let me repeat that. We are exiting the world of social media where we are on media to socialize. So this is kind of like Facebook kind of launched this in probably the most meaningful way. And it was where we connected with our friends, our family. We shared pictures, we shared events, stuff like that. We were socializing. But now we're moving into a world of interest. And when I say interest is you are consuming content on social media. And so content was distributed mostly by the big news channels and the media networks, but you weren't socializing with them. There was no bi-directional communication. Now, this is going to be a great lesson for any marketers or networkers or people in charge of Facebook pages for their cities, or just directors that are thinking, how do we get our message out? How do we get what we're doing out? How do we get our special events out and stuff? So remember, before we were in a world where we were socializing. And so that's where we're just connecting, building community, that kind of stuff. And so now you've seen a major shift that the online community is not just socializing. There is a army of content producers that have had, 5 years, even 10 years to understand the world of content production, content editing, content distribution. And so behind the scenes for the last 5 to 10 years, people like myself and other content creators have started to study and learn the craft. Just think of a carpenter that when he shows up on day one, he doesn't know much about how to work the wood and the tools and the material. But eventually over time, his skill set of shaping wood, cutting wood, connecting and fastening woods and all the different tricks of the trade come together. And over a few years of practice, he becomes a master craftsman. And so, like any other thing that you're trying to master, the world of content creators just needed 5 to 10 years with the tools. And then again, these tools are ever evolving. The algorithms are evolving. The networks like Facebook and YouTube and X and LinkedIn are evolving to cater more to content creators, because now this is what their audiences want. They want to learn at a very deep level a single topic. And so if I wanted to learn, like I'm a big space travel fan, and I'm a big fan of SpaceX. I've even been down to Brownsville, Texas. If you haven't gone and you love rockets, I mean, never in mankind's history can you get so close to the most advanced rocket system on Earth. I mean, you can literally throw a rock and hit the thing. You can pull right up to it. It's a public road that goes right onside the fence. And so if you're interested in learning about space travel, and lo and behold, there's about 4 major YouTubers that create content on this one topic. They just cover SpaceX, right? And so if you're an enthusiast of that, then you get to have an entire media company focused on a very narrow topic. And so here we are with that same vein of logic, creating media that you're interested in. This is called the interest media, not social media, but interest media. And I've told my story a few times, but I'll just recap it again. A lot of you know that I was a big, still am a very big Bitcoiner, very big enthusiast of it, and an educator in that world of finance and Bitcoin and the great invention that it is. And when I went to Nashville, there were 42 other media companies that had kind of like a quote unquote press pass. So imagine the the press pass was something that we saw that newspapers and reporters and journalists would go out and have these press passes and be able to cover major events or be able to cover topics or something, anything that was newsworthy or worthy of creating some content around. Well, fast forward to today, now that you don't have to be a reporter for a major newspaper, you can actually just pick a topic and just go deep on that one topic. And it's not really general news, it's specific news, specific content. And so what we're starting to see, what I learned in Bitcoin, is that if you're really enthusiastic about a topic, that you can start a YouTube channel and you can create content about something you're super passionate about. And then beyond that, we are starting to see entire media companies around certain interests and certain topics. And so when I looked over and when I was in Nashville, as with a press pass, looking at all my other fellow content creators with, I mean, they had, we had stages, we had the different cameras and microphones and lights, and we had producers and we had video editors all live on stage, all kind of stuff. So it was a big area that we could all set up. Or you just had some people that just had like a couple of bar stools and a camera and a light, and they were more like podcasters and stuff, just interviewing people as they would come off stage. And so imagine if we had something like that set up at NRPA or, TRAPS or any of the other state conventions and conferences. And so shout out to Alabama. I had this idea and I said, hey, let me come and just run the podcast from your state conference. And they let me, and we had a blast. And some of my earliest episodes were me just airing live from the Alabama State Conference in the little meetup area between like the breakout rooms and the where the vendors would stay. So had a blast doing that. And I plan on doing that a lot more this coming year. I definitely want to do it at NRPA, and I've been invited to do it up at the Northern New England. I've been invited to do it at TRAPS, and I've been invited to do it at California, and I've been invited to do it at, or I'm in conversations with North and South Carolina because they have like a combined state convention. So I'd like to continue to do the in-person stuff, but I think the whole point is that you want to create media for your industry. You want to give your media, your industry a voice. And now it's never been easier to not just to create, but then AI allows the production costs and the editing costs and the distribution costs to get so economical that you can produce really good content for a fraction of the cost of, think of, if any of you have been to Atlanta to see the CNN headquarters and you're like, oh my gosh, this is what it takes to produce CNN 24/7 news network with all the reporters. And I mean, it's like a massive building. It's a beautiful building right there downtown Atlanta. But now you can compete with that from your home with a camera, a mic, a desk, a few $1,000s worth of equipment. And then you can partner with some editors and they can leverage software and AI tools to really clean up and package your content for you. And then before you know it, you're up and running, producing shows monthly, weekly, several times a day like we do here. I think we're up to 11 hours of content, 11 one-hour shows is kind of, what our framework is. But we've got a couple other things in the works. Great announcement. We are working with Henry County, Georgia, and the leadership team that JP, he's the executive director over there, and they are wanting to do a monthly podcast with us. And so we're going to host them just like one of the regular shows, but it's going to be all of our back end technology and software and designers, and we even assign them a producer. And so they get to produce, they get to do what they love and just talk about Parks and Rec. We're going to pull the curtain back, get to see everything that they do. Going to have the whole leadership team, a 6-person leadership team panel on stage to just let's talk Parks and Rec top to bottom with all the leaders on stage and get to see a very well-run park system. So we're in the process of working on a brand for that, coming up with names, and we're really just going to help them package and distribute their content on our media platform. And so look how easy this has been able compared to like the big CNN that you see. Now, my long-term vision is to create a 24/7 network that just round the clock, it's Parks and Rec content with podcasters, and counties and associations that want to do a monthly podcast, or we'll have like daily shows or weekly shows that come on and talk about all things Parks and Rec. And so I encourage anyone that's whether you work with us or not. And and for now, if you want to work with us, we're not charging anything for our services to help distribute the content. We'll figure out a way to get sponsors for the whole family of shows because we've got enough vendors in our industry that would love to have their name up here with the content. And so I think the network of vendors can help support this. And we've already got a few that are supporting us. Shout out to Aaron Locks and his company. He's helping to support the Youth Sports Mastery show every Thursday, 1:30 p.m. And then we've got a couple of sponsors that want to help out with the Young Professionals Network. And so I think it's just a matter of if you're interested and you have a gift to communicate, if you can communicate well. And look, I'll encourage, I'm not going to call y'all out by name, but I have spoken with some Parks and Rec professionals that are very gifted at communicating the value of parks and recreation. And I would encourage you to reach out to me and say, hey, Craig, I kind of heard what you said. I'm really thinking that I'd like to do a monthly podcast on aquatics, or I'd like to do a monthly podcast on recreational therapy, or therapeutic recreation. If there is a topic that you feel like you've dedicated your life to, and you've gathered a lot of wisdom from a career of experience, and then digging deep and connecting with other masters in your area, then and you've got a gift for communicating that, and you have the desire to share that with all of America, and to maybe capture that in this little time capsule called a video in a video library, so that many generations of Parks and Rec leaders can still have access to your wisdom that you spent decades attaining. If you would like to help create that, and it can even be, hey, let's just do a 12-part series on aquatics, and I'll show up and do just 12 once a month. We'll do like first Tuesdays of the month at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. I'll show up and we'll do something on aquatics, and I'll bring in a couple of my mentors. I'll bring in maybe a vendor or two, and then we'll help you put it together. And so if this is more like a call to action, if this feels like something that's right up your alley, even if you're retired and you want to find a way to give back to this community that's given you so much in retirement, what can you do? You can share the wisdom that took you 20, 30, 40 years to attain with the rest of the community, and don't take all that wisdom to the grave with you. Because I can tell you, after interviewing approaching 400 Parks and Rec professionals by building the Daily Parks and Rec show, there is a ton of wisdom that I think needs to be captured and shared in perpetuity. And so that's the opportunity that we have here with the Daily Parks and Rec show and the DPRS Media Company, just as a place where you can call home for Parks and Rec content. And we can help you distribute it, package it, edit it, that kind of stuff. Because really what we're trying to do is just lift up the general message. And so what are some of the things with that accomplished? Well, we all know that the industry is struggling when it comes to, getting out of this discovery major category. So it's still, it blows my mind that so many people do not see Parks and Recreation as a career path at a young age. especially since most of the kids are actually volunteering or working or, were students of or athletes inside their Parks and Rec department. And so I think we can do a better job as an industry planting those seeds in those early days with our part-time staffers. And then we can also have better internship programs where we're, having college kids spend a semester inside of our park and rec departments and exposing them to what it's like to dedicate your life in a career capacity to parks and recreation. And so, getting those messages out, number one, we can probably lift this industry up and out of the, um, what do we call it? Discovery major, and put it into a major that everyone knows about and even fights over to get in. And I think that's how we recruit the best and the brightest into this industry to help us lead and take the torch. This is going to be the next generation of leaders. And you get out of what you put in. So if we don't put in a lot of effort into reaching out and cultivating and planting seeds in our youth for the Parks and Rec industry, well, you're not going to get much out of it if you don't put a lot into it. So I think we do have an opportunity to do something special there. And we've actually, as far as what we can do as the Daily Parks and Rec Show, we've already done. We've got a Friday show time slot, and we've got some great young professionals already involved in that. So if you are a young professional or you're a mentor or you just have a great internship program for young professionals, uh, please step up to the plate. Let's get your message out. Tell us how you're doing it, what you're doing, and so that we can, bring that message to the general Parks and Rec community as to how to run a very good internship program. And so all this is, you can see that there's just so much potential here with a media company dedicated to one industry, to our industry of parks and recreation. And we're gonna keep doing it here. We are on episode. I think this is episode 136. Should have been with. Let me tell you a little bit about what Jason Peters does. So he is an AI specialist. He is, and what I mean by that, it's very hard to be an AI specialist today because the field is so new. So to be an AI specialist, you just have to be one of these crazy people that said, "That's the future. I'm going deep down that rabbit hole, and I'm going to learn as much as I can about it." And so he kind of saw that. He was kind of a visionary, saw this early on, and said, I want to understand parks, artificial intelligence, and how it affects parks and recreation and municipal government, and has done a great job and even started a little company that helps parks and rec departments use all the AI tools for efficiency gains and stuff. And so we're going to have a whole 1 hour with him to kind of pick his brain around AI and how it affects all things parks and recreation. And I know Parks and Rec spends an ungodly amount of money on software, on many softwares, like 10 to 20 softwares. Think about go count all the softwares you use to manage an entire Parks and Rec department, from scheduling to work orders to seeing what kind of people are attending events and where they're from and how long they stay for economic impact. And there's so many software tools, even like collecting registration money and stuff for summer camps and stuff like that. And so AI can come in, and this is ripe for not just disruption, but for massive economic gains and productivity gains. So it's really, I was really interested to have him on the show because I think that's a big value add to the community. Okay, so I'll be signing off. A little short episode, kind of update, and just I wanted to tell you all a little bit where we are as far as our mission and where we are on achieving that mission and where we're going in phase 2 of the Daily Parks and Rec Show. I would say here's where we are in phase 2. We want to maybe pick up a couple more shows, a couple more podcasts, and then package them well, brand them well, build their audience, do them well, and then that should get us past. And then pick up a few dedicated partners that want to maybe sponsor the show along the way, and then really get our system, our back end systems, and our team, the Daily Parks and Rec Show editing team on the back end. And so that'll be kind of our phase 2. Phase 2 lasts all the way to episode 300. So we're on episode 136. So between episode 100 and 300, so I'd say we got maybe another, let's see, I haven't done the math. Let's see, maybe another 30, 60, 90 days, something like that, in phase 2. And we should get most of that accomplished. So, all right. So I appreciate all the love and support that y'all been giving us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This helps grow our audience as we're building out the entire community. And then as we bring on a lot of these new podcasts, similar to what Henry County is doing, we want to make sure that we have as large an audience as possible to share, what their message is with the world. So, all right. I will see y'all here tomorrow. We do have a guest scheduled, and it's actually on the books and didn't reschedule. Sorry about that, Peter. My fault completely. But signing off again, Craig LeBlanc, the Doorman. Love you guys. You have a great day. Bye. The future of parks and recreation is here, and it starts with you. Welcome back to the Daily Parks and Recreation Show, where we bring you the latest insights, trends, and conversations shaping the world of parks and recreation. Today, we're diving into something that's shaping the future of our industry, Young Professional Networks, or YPN. If you love your job and love the parks and recreation community and are looking to connect with the next generation of leaders, this episode is for you. YPN is where driven, passionate professionals come together to connect, grow, and make a real impact. It's not just about networking, it's about building the future of our communities. Why join YPN? Career growth and mentorship. Learn from the best in the industry. Innovative ideas and collaboration. Be part of the next big movement. Leadership development. Take charge, make decisions, and create change. Whether you're just starting out or looking to take your career to the next level, YPN is your gateway to success. From exclusive networking opportunities to cutting-edge industry insights, this is where you build your legacy. Because the future of parks and recreation starts with you.